July 1807, just days after signing the treaties of Tilsit, two accords that effectively ended the War of the Fourth Coalition, Napoleon Bonaparte was in high spirits. His forces had crushed the Prussians at Jena and the Russians at Friedland. France now stood unopposed across much of continental Europe. To celebrate the triumph, Napoleon requested a rabbit hunt. This was not just symbolic. He wanted true sport. His chief of staff, Alexandre Berthier, arranged the event. The plan was flawless. A luncheon organized near the countryside outside Paris, wine, silver service, and enough game to entertain a field of officers. As for the hunt itself, Berthier's team gathered between 1,000 and 3,000 rabbits. That's about 900 to 2,700 pounds of animal mass, approximately 408 to 1,225 kilograms. But instead of capturing wild hares, they bought tame ones from farmers, bred in pens, and used to hand feed. That detail was critical. Napoleon arrived with his guests expecting regal leisure. Guns were handed out. Cages were opened. But the rabbits, recognizing the familiar coats and shoes of humans, not as threats, but as meal tickets, they started hopping forward. And not a few. Hundreds. And then more. The field turned gray with fur as the rabbits surged, not away, but towards the emperor. Officers laughed. At first. But when the animals climbed the boots and nipped at gloves, the mood began to quickly change. Berthier tried to wave them off. Napoleon swatted with his riding crop. Nothing worked. One witness described it as a cavalry charge in miniature. The man who had stood firm at Austerlitz now retreated to his carriage under assault from 1,000 rabbits. Some chased the retreating guests for several yards or meters, unwilling to give up their expected treats. The battle was over in minutes, but the word spread fast. This was not a strategic failure. It wasn't defeat. But it was a moment of unguarded comedy, one that followed Napoleon, the master tactician, undone not by a coalition of kings, but by a huddle of hungry hares. What begun as celebration of victory became an unplanned lesson in humility. Napoleon's rabbit hunt reminds us that power, no matter how absolute, it does not exclude a man from absurdity. Even emperors, they misjudge the instincts of living things around them all the time. And sometimes it's not the cannon you fear, but the carrots you forget. These are interesting things with JC.